I'm hopeful that that will actually work and that will actually, you know, poison the opponent. And I am poisoning you with my use of the word actually, so let me stop that. Hello reformers, and welcome back to Warsword Conquest and our Slythe cheese hunting adventures. Actually, in this episode I am going to aim to expand the cheese clan empire, and well, you're going to see exactly how I'm planning on doing that, but obviously it really depends on a number of factors, and those factors are yet to be decided, so we'll see if I can pull it off. Anyway, for the moment, we have a battle with an orc against a dwarf, a classic battle, and we are going to be doing a little bit of intercepting here, shall we say, because Big Boss Hamfist is outnumbered. He is outnumbered by a pretty significant margin, and he's going to be very pleased that we are assisting him in this, and I'm pretty happy with that as well. And oh yeah, I actually forgot to re-equip my magic. My bad. Yes, well, hopefully you can forgive me for that small brain error, but yes. Going forward, field battles, we're going to be equipping our magic for the most part. The only time that we are going to be equipping our gun is when we do a siege, whether that be an offense or a defense. Don't exactly know why the orc is running ahead here, considering most of his ranged support is over here, and if he gets himself eliminated any further, he's going to have some problems even escaping this territory. Now bear in mind, this is actually really close by to Bugman's, which is our village. And I thought to myself, yes, I'd like to, you know, defend it, because this dwarf was actually attempting to raid the village, and I was not a big fan of that. Let me just tell you, yes, was not a big fan of him attempting to raid my village, and I decided to chase him. But I didn't really want to fight at that time, so I decided, hey, okay, I'm going to just chase him around a little bit, and I wanted to try and, you know, fight him in much more advantageous position, so I kind of decided to do that, and as a result I just through no fault of my own had the orc intercept. He literally intercepted the guy. Oh yeah, by the way, here's a new companion. He's riding a cow. Yes, he's very special indeed. Anyway, we are going to be telling our infantry to charge in here for once, because it seems like the orc is completely destroying everyone on the enemy side by the looks of things. Hello. Yes, Giant Slayer. Ignore Pain is a crazy skill. And that reminds me, we are going to need to get some skills. I think someone actually commented about that as well. And speaking of comments, I saw a comment that was detailing how amazing chaos magic can be. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm thinking when we go and visit the chaos side of things, I think I kind of have an idea about what kind of magic I want to use. And Ugluk already leveled up? Are you serious? He already leveled up? That is crazy. Okay, that was really fast. We did lose one Warplock engineer, but that's really nothing to worry about in my opinion. Otherwise, there you go. Lord Yori was eliminated. And we have advanced our relation with the orcs and Big Boss Hamfist by a significant amount. Not too bad. Alright, so apart from that, of course, we now have the opportunity to take a number of prisoners, and hopefully that will then result in us having a little bit of extra cash as a little bit of a nest egg, I suppose you could say, back in our garrison. I think that's going to be a pretty nice thing. And as you can see, Big Boss Hamfist only has four units remaining in his army. He actually does have a dwarf in his prisoner's hold, so he's been doing some work. He's been doing some work, certainly. And yeah, Bugman's is now safe, so that's good. And yeah, so basically what I've been doing is just the standard kind of stuff, you know, sort trading, looking out for people that are like running by. I've pillaged a couple of caravans that have attempted to run on by here to the Empire because, of course, you know, a little bit of, you know, war of attrition style tactics never hurt anyone, with the exception of those guys, obviously. But anyway, I actually have a new shield here. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller than my previous one, which is kind of amusing considering this is a goblin shield. You'd think a goblin shield would be kind of small, wouldn't you? But no, it's actually not. Anyway, that is 100 size, so it's a little bit smaller, but hopefully that's not going to prevent us from hopefully living, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to be swapping out these things now. There we go. Let's put our plague magic on there. Oh yeah, I saw another comment that said that I should just use like I don't know, like a one-handed or a spear or a polearm or something, or a two-handed with a shield, and then use magic and also gun or something like that, or a two-handed and a gun and ammunition and magic. But as we found out in a previous series, that is not possible. You cannot use a gun and magic at the same time. I just wanted to reiterate that. Oh, restricted item? I can't use the Empire Heavy Halberd? I was just... I was actually just using... Okay, maybe I can't use it with Plague Magic. That's actually kind of interesting. Apparently I can't use it with Plague Magic? Is that true? Apparently so. Oh well, okay. That's good to know. That is very good to know. Oh. It seems like we have something else going on here. So it seems like the lizard men are now declaring war against Clan Cheese. That is not exactly good, I gotta say. And I'm actually kind of surprised at that, to be honest. I thought to myself, are we gonna have the Tomb Kings declare war against us? Oh yeah. Also, mentioning that, I have sent off an emissary to the Skaven. While I was in my off-screen time, I sent it off to the leader of the Skaven. He came back and basically said, no, he's not willing to agree to a non-aggression treaty. So that's kind of sad. That is kind of sad. Otherwise, I have now sent the same guy off to the Tomb Kings, because we do have pretty decent relations with the Tomb Kings, as well as obviously the Skaven underworld, and I was hopeful that maybe there would be a non-aggression treaty there. A couple of you did suggest doing that, and I thought, okay, you know, why not? Let's just try it out. I have never had, and I don't think I have ever been able to actually get a non-aggression pact, ever, in my entirety playing this game, with the exception of maybe once or twice in Gekkokujo or something like that. But yeah, never really that before. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try, if I can, once I've saved up enough money, I'm going to rename Karak Hearn to something a little bit different. And I think there was actually a very good suggestion in the comments recently, and we're going to try and do that if I can. Now, let's see here. We have 16 prisoners, 46 over here. Whoa. Now, that is some pretty crazy stuff. Now, bear in mind, we have to be very mindful of what is going on here. Because, of course, now that the lizard men have declared war against us, they now technically count as an enemy. And that means that we are going to have to be a little bit cautious when it comes to the various units in the area when we are attempting to attack others. So, for example, if I were to attack these wood elves right now, there we go, okay, we seem to be at a sufficient distance so that we don't have to worry about these caravans joining in on the battle, and so we have a very easy fight on our hands, or at least I hope it is a pretty easy fight. Bear in mind, we now have magic, so hopefully the magic will, you know, put us in good stead here, as my gun does tend to take out a couple of units, but I think on the whole having buff magic and everything is a really, really good way of doing things. So anyway, let's see if I can place my infantry down here, and this is not a good place to be. This is not a good place to be at all. I'm actually going to use my willpower here, because I would like to be able to use my magic. There we go, Winds of Magic 8. Oh, that's crazy, yes. That is exactly what we want. Bless with Filth, there we go. And let's get Vermintide and... oh, I can't cast that, I can't cast that. Not enough magic. Not enough magic, but I am going to try and stab as much as possible with my spear here. And it seems like they charged us very, very fast indeed. This is not good. This is certainly not good. He dodged. He dodged as well. That is not good. Not very nice. Okay, so they have a whole bunch of Shadow Lords and everything as well. Okay, let's tell our infantry to charge in here. We'll tell Volans, who is our only cavalry, to charge in as well. And can I... yes, I can now cast this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we cast Vermintide, so hopefully that's going to help us out a little bit. But you can see here that their cavalry are having an absolutely wonderful time of feasting upon us. But it's okay. You know why it's okay? Because they have so many prisoners in their army here. And yeah, okay, you know, I am losing quite a few units. But we have a decent garrison. You know, the garrison is not bad. But obviously I would have preferred to have not lost anyone in this particular fight, if at all possible, but obviously that's just how it goes sometimes, and especially considering the Wood Elves are very proficient with, you know, kill-death ratios and stuff, so, you know, in general I've always kind of found that, so we do need to be a bit cautious about it anyway, and, maybe I can take this guy out. Whoa, he had a huge amount of dodge skill. Did you see that? He was dodging almost every attack. Wow. That reminds me, we do need to get dodge. That is going to cost me a bit of cash though, so hopefully I'll be able to get that. I mean, I have about 50,000 still in the treasury, but I don't really want to take from that any further because, you know, the more and more you take from that and the further it dwindles, it's not going to be very good. But I did do some salt trading, and I did get 2 additional enterprises in Orcish towns. I believe they were 2 Orcish towns, or maybe a goblin and an Orcish town. Not entirely sure, I can't remember now, but the point is that they were pretty cheap. They were pretty cheap. I think I got a wine press and a... I think it was a tannery? Wine press and a tannery, or an oil press or something like that. I'm sure we'll find out when our weekly wages come in. But that's going to be pretty good in my opinion, because I think we're going to be getting about 1100 from that, because our weavery and dye works right now, they're not doing well. They are not doing well at all. Okay, so we lost 9 Jezzails. That's fine. That's fine. We've got a load of them. We have a huge amount of them. Then we have Warplock Engineers. We lost 3 of those. That's okay. So in total, we lost 20. I did find some mercenary Dread Witches, by the way, and I thought to myself, you know, why not? Dread Witches, aren't they from the Dark Elves? I'm pretty sure they're from the Dark Elves. They look like they're from the Dark Elves at the very least. And we do have some Skaven slaves and things like that as well. And we did have a couple of clan rats and veterans and black rats here taking a little bit of the brunt of the damage, and that's pretty nice. Anyway, I don't really mind if these guys manage to escape, but in this case they did not, and so we are going to be taking them prisoner. The Tomb Kings only have 5 relation with us. I'm pretty sure that is not enough to get a non-aggression treaty, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we're going to be lucky, maybe we're not. It really depends. But anyway, this is exactly the reason why I wanted to fight these guys. I was not actually planning on fighting anyone along the way to where I wanted to go, because where I wanted to go is exactly the reason why I mentioned that we wanted to expand Clan Cheese, and yeah, hopefully be able to maybe get another castle, or you know, or a town. You know, I'm not going to give anything away just yet, but if you've seen the entirety of this series, then I think you're probably going to know which fief I'm going to attempt to take. Alright, so we actually have a pretty hard situation, and I'm not entirely sure if I wanted to do this, to be honest. I really didn't know. I really didn't know. I thought to myself, hey, you know what? We are not really affiliated with these guys, but if we can pull off a victory here, then it's going to be pretty awesome. And maybe they will be then more inclined to accept our non-aggression treaty, because let's face it, we could use a couple of allies. And even if they don't necessarily actively help us in battle, it might make sense for us to have a couple of people that are not going to attack us in the world. So yeah, let's see how this goes. We are with the Tomb Kings up against the Wood Elves, and if everything fails, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna retreat. I'm really close to our base, by the way. I'm really close to Carrick-Herne, and hopefully we will be able to go back there, get into the garrison, get all our, I don't even know what, get our Poison Wind Globadiers or some of our slaves, and take them out here and do some stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna just go super steamroll over the enemy. And actually, you know what? I am in a really bad position. I am in a really bad position right now. Actually, is it that bad? Is it that bad? Yeah, it is kind of bad, isn't it? It is kind of bad. Okay, let's use Wither. Let's use Wither on these guys. Hopefully that's going to make some difference when the Tomb Kings actually engage. I'm going to die. Oh, oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Let me just, let me just run in there. Alright, so I have once again engaged the Tomb Kings after a little bit of time just to get myself back on my feet. Then I use the healing potion as soon as I enter the battle to get back to full HP. Otherwise, what we're going to do now is we're hopefully not going to die again. I'm actually unsure about that because, you know what? Actually, someone told me that Wither is... you know what? I'm not going to help these guys. It just gets me killed all the time. Alright, so yeah, I've actually just abandoned that particular fight. You know what, I just really don't want to go up against those guys anymore, and it's, you know, that's the thing. You have those goals in the game when you're like, yeah, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that, I'd like to do this, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, unfortunately. And, I mean, we were up against it. We were severely up against it, that's for sure. They had some extremely elite units, as you could see. They had so many cavalry. So it was going to be pretty difficult anyway. And I don't know whether it was really going to work. Anyway, as you can see right here, Kingdom of Bretonnia is offering us a wonderful ransom for Lord Ronaldus. And we are going to be accepting it. I'm actually waiting here because I am, you know, just restoring myself, basically. Yes, just restoring myself. Anyway, there is actually a wood elf really close by to us here, which we could fight just to get a little bit of redemption, shall we say. So let's actually go and do that, because these guys are annoying, let's face it. They're not as annoying as the high elves, I guess, because the high elves do tend to have that air of arrogance around them, and I'm not entirely sure if the wood elves really have that arrogance, that same kind of arrogance. Anyway, as you can see, I'm still pretty injured here. I could technically take a healing potion, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Amusingly enough, whenever I use magic, I seem to have a kind of weird, I don't know, a weird survivability decrease. Is that just me? Is that just me? I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, they do have magic as well. Oh yeah, and as I was about to say before I was eliminated beforehand, I do have a couple of comments that have been telling me, hey, you're probably using magic a little bit too far away from where you actually need to be to have it work. And I thought that Wither was actually a ranged attack, so like 30 meters or something like that, instead of a radial attack. In other words, surrounding your character. And yeah, so 30 meters is obviously not that much. So I guess I'll try and look out for that. I will try and look out for that to try and make it as effective as possible. And in the meantime, I guess what I can do is use this. Use Bless with Filth. There we go. Let's do that. I'm hopeful that will actually work, and that will actually, you know, poison the opponent. And I am poisoning you with my use of the word actually. So let me stop that. Let me stop that right now. Yes. Anyway, let's have a look at Vermintide. I think that's probably going to be our best shot here. I'm not going to use it yet because Winds of Magic is at 1, and I do want to make sure that it works appropriately. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Wind of Magic 8. It failed. It failed with Willpower and Winds of Magic 8. Okay. Alright, that's fine. No problem. Okay, I'm going to use this. There we go. Yes, there we go. Wither is actually working properly now, as you can see by the icon. Very good indeed. Hopefully that's going to help out. And you know what? I'm actually going to take a healing potion. Yeah, I really don't want to die against these people again. Really? Really? Took that much damage? Really? Come on, Slythe. You really need the dodge skill, don't you? Yes. I'm actually going to go into the arena after this, even if that means going into the treasury and getting some cash, because I feel like getting that dodge skill is going to make so much difference to our effectiveness, and I just think survivability in general is something that we don't really prioritize as much as we should. So I'm going to try and do that. And we'll see if that can help. Otherwise, after that, then we will be moving on and finally attempting to expand Clan Cheese. That's just how it goes sometimes. In Warband, there are so many different variables that can happen at any one time, and it only gets even more varied as you play different mods. And, you know, the AI has different behaviors and so on and so forth. Anyway, Ripnich was eliminated, but he's just a companion, so he will be back on his feet in no time. Alright, so let's go into the arena here. I did use quite a few healing potions, so if I can find a potion seller at some point, that's going to be very useful for us. Otherwise, as you can see here, we are going to be speaking to this fellow. Oh, is there a reward? Can I join too? No, I'm not going to join, thanks. I'd like to learn some combat skills. Dodge skill. 2,000 gold. That's actually not even that much. Should we get Ignore Pain as well? 12,000! That is 12,000! Oh my! Okay, yeah, we're certainly not going to be learning Ignore Pain just yet. I'm going to sell the Empire Heavy Halberd because apparently I can't use that anymore for some reason. Don't know why that happened. Anyway, let's buy some cheese for the long road ahead. And let's see if there's a potion seller in here. There is. Wow. That is crazy. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the awesome luck. that is a lot of luck right there. Okay, so we got a potion of knowledge right here. 2 potions of knowledge actually, and I think I'm gonna buy those. Yeah, why not? There we go. And then we're gonna go into our camp and actually drink them straight away. There we go. Let's do potion of knowledge, there we go. And there we have it. Alright, that's fantastic. That's really, really good. Okay, so now what do we actually have in our army? Do we actually have some decent units? Oh yeah, I'm actually starting to use a couple of night. No. Didn't say it. I didn't say it. Dark Elf. Yes. Dark Elf units. There we go. Starting to use some Dark Elf units. You can't blame me. I played Warcraft games for many, many years. You can't blame me for that. Yes, you probably can. Anyway, we are now going to move on, and I will be revealing the target of Clan Cheese, and oh, apparently we're gonna be yeah. Could you just ignore me for a second? Yeah, thanks. All right, that's exactly what I wanted. Great. Okay, so you can see here Lord Measles, who is apparently that's apparently how you say his name. So that's good. Yeah, that kind of would make sense, wouldn't it? Because obviously the Skaven are all to do with plagues and you know, poisons and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's very much, you know, a thing. Anyway, let's continue to move on. I wonder whether you can already guess where we're heading. Can you already guess? Maybe. Maybe not. Really depends. Ah, look at that. Wow, he's actually engaging Reichsmarschall Kurt Helborg. That's probably not a good idea. Let's face it. It's probably not a good idea. Wow, High Elf and Araby right here? Okay, that's kind of bad. I'm a bit worried about that, actually. Kind of a bit worried about that. Oh well, yeah, so here it is. This is the place. Lucchini is the place that I want to besiege, because I'm thinking to myself, they probably haven't garrisoned it with a very large defense force. So, do you think I'll be able to go in there, snatch it from them immediately, and then give it to Measles and then see what he can do with it? Maybe? Maybe that would work out quite nicely. Maybe it's not going to work out, but we're going to try and see. There's only 39. Wow. That is pretty crazy. They do have a vassal in there, which is obviously going to be a bit of a problem. But I think for the most part we should be okay. Alright, so let's put our gun on once again. And, there we go. Nagrat has returned. And he is not willing to conclude a non-aggression treaty. Well, at least you saw it here. So you know that I've been doing that stuff. And unfortunately, he did decline. So we'll see what happens with that as time goes on. But yeah, okay, so he's patrolling around Carrickern. Hopefully he's not going to get himself taken prisoner or anything. Really much hope he won't do that. This is a siege tower. That's going to take 72 hours. Yeah, right. I don't have any engineers. Alright, so you can see here that we have a wonderful friend that has returned to us. And his name is Bjorg, yes. He's a very, very buff bear, or beast man or whatever he may be, but he's certainly sticking to that workout regimen, isn't he? Anyway, let's welcome him back. We are now beginning the siege against Lucchini, and yeah, I actually did not realize it, but Katja had just leveled up from my trainer skill, and so, well, there you go. That's I think that's pretty cool, because I was able to get 2 in engineering with her, and that is literally... Ooh, this is bad. He was waiting. Did you see that? There were a couple of vassals right outside, and thankfully, this guy has bad timing. Because if he did not have bad timing, we would be up against about 400, maybe even 500 units right now. But thankfully we're not. We're up against 107 only, and this is going to even the playing field extremely nicely. So let's see if I can actually do something about this here. I mean, I have 44 archers. Not a big fan of that, personally. I think I would much prefer to have about 60 archers instead of splitting them so much, but... well, not much I can do. Not much I can do. So, this is not particularly the best environment, is it? Yes, this environment is going to be kind of difficult for us to deal with, but I think we have a good enough slope to actually be okay. So I'm just going to tell everyone to hold their fire. I have 2 cavalry. Yes, these 2 cavalry are not going to do a very good job, but well. Valans, I have faith in you, and I'm sure I'm sure he's very good and, you know, very proficient at killing everything, but against this many enemies, I don't know how it's going to go. Now, bear in mind, I don't have magic for this, because obviously I equipped a pistol, so I will have to fire away and see what I can do. Did we actually get a headshot from that range? Yes, we did. 14.4 shot difficulty. That was complete skill, not complete luck at all. No, obviously. Alright, so let's just continue to fire away there. Oh, wow, we're actually getting a couple of kills. Kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. Alright, so hopefully my forces will actually begin doing things, like, properly here. And we're going to go into ranks with our infantry, we're going to go into ranks with our archers as well, and hopefully that's going to help them to be a little bit more effective in terms of fighting. And I am kind of worried about this, actually. Kind of worried about this. Let's tell everyone to charge in. Well, not everyone, but the infantry and everything, so yes, hopefully we can just kill these camel riders as well, because they're going to be kind of hard. Hello. Don't kill me yet, please. Thanks. Yes, almost. Almost. I don't really mind being killed, you know, at some point, but not just yet, if at all possible. Things are actually going quite nicely so far. Valans, get in there! Get in there, you! What are you doing there? Okay, hello. Okay, let's just try and kill this. Can I actually do damage to the rider instead of to the camel? Sorry, camel. I really did not want to hit him so many times. Okay, so, yes, let's see if I can... Yeah, there we go. Steal that kill. Good job, Slythe. Yes. That's the Skaven way. That's the Skaven way. Backstabbing and stealing and all kinds of stuff. So we gotta be, you know, living up to that. And it seems like Ugluk is having a hilariously fun time on his little cow over there. And he's literally just like, I have a big club. I am willing to smash your face in with it as I wear a crown while riding a cow. It sounds like literally some I don't even know. It sounds like some crazy situation somehow. It's just like, yes, I wore a crown while riding a cow and bludgeoned people to death with my massive mace. Yes, it sounds like a weird thing. Anyway, yes, I'm very happy to have him along with us, because he is very effective. He has a huge amount of strength and HP and all that stuff, so pretty happy with that. And there is another thing that I'm very happy about. A nice headshot for 213 damage against that Arabi assassin. Very good. Okay, so far everything seems to be going kind of well, I guess. The one thing that I'm not particularly happy about is the fact that we are now having problems with enemies coming in on us, and we don't have ammunition to deal with them. Or at least it doesn't look like it. It seems like some of our people have basically switched into infantry, and that's not exactly great, but there's only 10 enemies remaining, and if we can't deal with 10 enemies with our ranged units playing in melee range, then we might as well just go home, you know. We might as well just go home, because let's face it, we were going to take Lucchini, and we were going to go in there, and I'm pretty sure most of our ranged units would be expected to do some, you know, dirty business, and you know, get in there and do some damage. And there you go, that's it. We did it. 13 casualties, however, which is not exactly ideal. 9 renown. We lost all of our plague. Really? Really? Katja, where are you? You're dead. Okay, well that makes sense. Anyway, point is, I'm very surprised that we lost all of our plague priests, all of our Eshin assassins, our 1 Nagaroth assassin. I think we have a number of Nagaroth assassins actually, so we don't really need to worry about that, but still. Point is, we lost so many high-tier melee units. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Anyway, there's only 5 remaining. We're just going to auto-resolve that. Really? They only have camel riders? Only camel riders, and we lost that many? Okay, well, never auto-resolve against only 5. That is not good. Oh well. Never mind. There is actually a really, really awesome two-handed saber here, which I might actually decide to use instead of the spear. And we're gonna just do that. I wonder whether I can actually use it. I hope I can. Ah, Bjorg. Yes, he likes Aketi, by the way. I normally like to remain solitary when we camp, but I must admit that I enjoy talking to Aketi. He is a great fighter with big plans of his own. One day he will lead many tens of thousands of elves to establish dominance of the sea. I will enjoy watching him slaughter his way to power almost as much as I will enjoy taking it off him when... well, after I go home and call forth the Great Northern Fleet. Okay, well, that's very good. That's very good for you. Okay, so as you can see, we are now being attacked by 2 different vassals on either side. I'd actually like to go in here. How long is it going to take? It's going to take another 31 hours. Unfortunately, that appears to be the end of our little foray into our attempt at taking Lucchini, but you can see here that at least now the vassal has left. So technically, if we are able to level up Katja just a little bit more, she hasn't gained another level, unfortunately, but if only she did, it would have made all the difference right now, that's for sure. And we have leveled up as well. Let's get 15 strength, because I do want to use that ball and chain weapon. And we now have enough to be able to do that. And then I will be leveling intelligence from now on. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. So it seems like my plans to take that will have to wait, maybe until the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.